Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy, Just the Entrepreneur. I started a business called J&J's Custom Apparel about 3 years ago. I was actually influenced by Reyes, the entrepreneur, so shout out Reyes. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a contour cut. So let's get it. And this is what I'm going to be using for today's tutorial for contour cutting. All right, and so I wanted everything to sort of be in the image. And so I'm going to just bring that about right there. And then this part here, I'm going to place it also on top of the image. So we'll put it about right there. That looks good. And I'm gonna add some stars in there. So I'm gonna take these stars here. I'm just gonna throw them off to the side right here, just right into the image. About right there, that's fine. And same thing on the other side. About right there, whatever that works. And let's pull this out just a little bit. Oh, right there. Okay. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to put on the back of this image, I'm going to put a border on that. So I'm gonna come over to my offset panel, hit offset, and I want to give it a sharp edge corner. And then for now, I'm just gonna make it like orange just so I can see it. Okay, that's fine. So it's going to be white, but I'm gonna make it orange for now, obviously, so I can see it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over to sand, and you'll see that in sand, all those cut lines will cut right through the words. Like, look how messy it gets down here. Like, it gets so messy that if you try to contour or if you try to cut that, it's literally just gonna chop everything up. It's gonna look pretty whack. So, and you'll be able to see that like on the press and everything. It won't look as clean. And so what you want to do is first things you want to do is you want to highlight it like that. And then you want to go over to no cut. Okay, so that way it's blank. Now there's no cut. You're gonna go back into your design. Okay, you're gonna go to your trace panel right here. Select trace. We're gonna come over to the image. We're going to highlight everything. All right, now let's move this. Yeah, just put it all the way at 100. Okay, so it's all the way at 100. Now I'm just going to hit trace. Okay, now it basically just traced out all the stuff that we don't need in this image. Okay, so now we're gonna go back over to send just so you can see it. Now you'll see all those cut marks that were cutting through the picture, that was cutting through letters. All that stuff is gone, and it's only gonna cut out pretty much all the excess that you don't need. So you get a lot more cleaner of a cut. Okay, now you're gonna go back over to your design. Now I'm gonna make this background right here, I'm gonna make it white now. Now that it's got a tracer around it. Okay. Now I want to group the whole thing. Okay, everything's good. All right. Now you want the image to fit in with the size of paper that you're using. In my case, I use heat transfer paper. I don't have a sublimation machine or a DTG, so this is like the next best thing, I guess you can say. And so I'm using a 11 by 17 inch heat transfer paper. I'm gonna turn on my registration marks. So if you come over here to your page setup panel, registration marks on. Okay, now I'm gonna go back over to the page setup here. and the paper that we're using is 11 by 17. So you want to make sure that you use those exact dimensions. So 11, click here, 17, enter. Okay, 11 by 17 inch. You come over here. Now it's the same exact width paper. Make sure that your cut border is showing and your print border. And you also want to print bleed if you're going to be printing on like a black shirt or something. What it does, it bleeds out the ink and it cuts just inside of the ink that it bled out, so that way you don't have like white lines showing within the words or outside the words. It's a lot cleaner of a cut, so just remember that. Now my border, the print border here is showing a 8.5 by 11 inch, I believe, print border. We want to change this print border here to an 11 by 17 inch. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over to your printer. Okay, then you're going to go to preferences. Then you're going to come down to printer paper size. You're going to go to 11 by 17. Hit OK, hit apply, and then hit cancel. And if you come back over here, now our print border is alongside the edge. And that is very, very important, or your prints are going to be screwed up. Trust me, I've had trouble with it in the past. I had to look it up to see what the hell was going on. This was the issue, it was the print border. And okay, now we want the, I had the image I think at like 11 inches, and if you notice, I'm not within the cut border. So if you turn it sideways, that's fine, especially if you're using an 11 by 17 inch. If you just turn it sideways, you'll be able to fit the dimensions that you need. And screw it, we're gonna print it, and I'm gonna show you guys the results of all this. We're at my printer. I'm just using a Canon, and the model is a IX6820. Pretty good printer. I've had it for like 3 years now. I haven't had any problems with it. All right, let's go ahead and come up to the printer and hit print. So there it is. There's the registration marks, one there, one over there, and then the square registration mark goes here. And then we can load it into the cutter. This is a silhouette cameo. Into the cameo. Now we're going to go back over to the silhouette software, and we're going to come over to our send. Cut settings. Now the cut settings that I use for heat transfer paper are, it's a blade 3, and I use a force of 8. And the speed, I don't like it to go too fast, especially on contour cuts, especially when it has to get into like smaller areas. This one's got a lot of small areas, so I'm gonna stick around 5. A little bit of a slower speed. Okay, now let's go ahead and hit send. Registration marks now. Okay. Now what I have here is a carrier sheet. I order it off Amazon. It's a Frisco craft. So before we add our carrier sheet, we're going to loosen up the image. We do that so that way when you're adding the carrier sheet onto the image, it doesn't tear away at any of the ink. Yeah, so you want to make sure that the letters are loose, or it'll leave the heat transfer paper behind and take the ink instead, and you don't want to do that, then it ruins the image. And so yeah, anyways, we got our carrier sheet on here. Now we can just peel. Now you want to peel slow. Fudge. Okay. T-shirt in my scraps box. Just t-shirts that I use for mock-ups or for test prints and stuff like that. Now, again, this is heat transfer paper. I'll just add all the stuff in the description. You can see how clean that is, you know what I mean? And all that excess white heat transfer that you don't need just makes the image look a lot more cleaner that way, which is why that contour cut is very important. It's also important to bleed the image also. Comes out way clean. Now we're gonna press this onto a black t-shirt. Over to my heat press. We're going to set this at, they say I think like 375 or some shit, but I put it at like, I don't know, 363. Just 360 is cool. And I do it for, they say I think 30 seconds. I just do it for like 22. All right, cool. Okay, that was 22 seconds. Okay. Now just remove the carrier sheet. And bada boom, bada beam. Yeah, you get a very clean heat transfer paper look with the contour cut. Take out all that white excess material that you don't need, and it just makes it look very, very clean. So if you guys have any questions, just put them in the comments. All right, you guys. Also, I did link the carrier sheets that I order from Amazon in the description. This stuff is great. I highly recommend. Good stuff. I've gone through a lot of carrier sheets. I've ordered a lot of crappy carrier sheets. Complete waste of money. That stuff right there, like, I get it every time now. Also, this carrier sheet is for decal vinyl. I also linked that in the description. Gone through a lot, and I finally found the right supplies that I need for my business in order for my business to be successful, which is the stuff that I actually linked in the description below. And you guys can follow me on Instagram at JJ_custom_apparel. And then same thing for TikTok, JJ_custom_apparel, for awesome, dope ass t-shirt content. All right, that was my first video, you guys. I hope it was very helpful. I hope it's useful for you. I apologize if I lacked anything, or if I wasn't very informative. I apologize in advance for any of that stuff. But I do hope that this video is very informative for you, and that it is helpful and useful, and that you take something that you saw today and you're able to apply that to your business and everyday cutting. All right, cool, you guys. Peace.